Welcome to the Redirect, Regroup, Refocus podcast with your host, life coach Jeff Relaford. This podcast is designed for those who wish to change their inner self in order to maximize outward potential. So come redirect, regroup, and refocus with your number one life coach, Jeff Relaford.
Hello, everybody. Welcome again to the Redirect, Regroup, Refocus podcast with your number one life coach, me, Jeff Relaford. Now, look here. Now, I keep telling y'all been hearing me flap my gums for the longest time. Okay, people, for the longest time. All 21, 22 episodes. Okay. Now, I told y'all I was gonna have more guests. Now, a couple weeks ago, we had Coach V on. She talked about her story about money and just business and mentorship, the whole time. But now we have another guest, my second guest here. This is somebody I know quite well. This is my friend. She is amazing, y'all. Listen, she owns a credit repair business. She has written a book called The Ultimate Credit Manual for Credit Repair, people. I'm trying to tell y'all, she gonna help you out. She'll get you out of some things here. And she also has, I'm gonna mess this up. She told me what it was, y'all. Listen, y'all know I'm a fool. She told me what it was. But this is the workbook for credit repair. The workbook for credit repair. So this is going step by step what you need to do in order to fix your credit. I'm trying to tell y'all people. Now look, without further ado, I'm gonna announce the woman of the hour here that y'all gonna have for at least 35, 40 minutes, Miss Jennifer Williams.
Hello. Thank you. That was a good introduction, might I say.
I tried to do what I could. You know what I mean? We only do what we can here for the show. You know?
I appreciate it. Thank you for having me. And yes, that is the workbook for how.
Hold it for the people.
Yes.
There you go, for the people.
My workbook for my credit repair courses. I give this out to my students so they can have a guide of how to repair credit, how to start it, what credit is, even have like some tests in here, like to refresh yourself. It's like a good little guide, and so they can always take with them. So they can always go back into the book and try to see if they need help with anything, they can look back to this book. So that's what this is.
And then you can hold up your book as well. Your book. Oh, go ahead.
All-in-one tax services, ultimate credit manual. It's actually been out now, almost 2 years?
2 years, yes.
2 years it's been out. So you can actually purchase it on Amazon and Lulu, and you can go to my website, www.allinonetaxjw.com to purchase it.
That's what's up. See, y'all heard it from her. Y'all go purchase this book and get to her establishment to get the workbook as well. Come on now, people. She has means for y'all. And she does charge, but we're gonna talk about that later too. So just let the people know more about you before we get started. Listen. I know a lot of people, they have passions, they have dreams. You know what I mean? They have things that they say is their calling, right? People, you're calling. So how did you get started doing this? And do you feel this is truly your calling?
So I got started because maybe about 4 years ago I went through what we say an ugly divorce. So I was pretty much left with trying to keep everything that I worked so hard for, because the person I was married to was at that time the potential breadwinner. So he paid the majority of the bills. So when the marriage ended, I was left with all of those bills, and I was trying to figure out like what was I going to do. So like I said, how you turn your pain into purpose. So I just remember how one day I was crying, like asking God, like, what am I gonna do? Because I don't want to lose everything that I worked so hard for. And I remember I was working at the bank, and a lady came in one day. It was maybe like 2 days after I had laid on the floor for 3 hours crying. The lady just said to me out of the blue, Jen, why don't you start charging for credit repair? And I was just like, charging?
Now, why did she think that you should start charging for credit repair? Were you doing this beforehand? Was this something you kind of just walked into? How did that work out for you?
I have been doing credit repair on and off since 2011, and I was doing it actually as a sport. It was just fun. People often wanted to pay me, but I always told people like, "Oh, you ain't gotta pay me." I was doing it for fun. It was just a hobby of mine.
Y'all hear this, people? Credit repair for fun. Okay, it was a hobby. Oh, okay. I just want to make sure y'all hearing this correctly. Okay, keep going. I'm sorry
Yeah,
about that,
no,
guys.
it's fine. It was a hobby. And my first client actually was a former boyfriend of mine back in 2011. He was trying to get a home. And when they pulled his credit report, even though he worked in the mill, he made like over $100,000
Mm,
back then. They looked at his report and he had like over $200,000 worth of debt on his
mm,
credit. But here's the kicker, it wasn't his. What happened was that his father and him had the same name. So that happens a lot with juniors and things like that.
okay.
Sometimes their stuff would be put on a child or
Mm,
vice versa. I hear that often.
okay.
So what I did was he was my first time saying, let me try a stab at it. I don't know what made me say, let me try. Needless to say, I was able to get $200,000 worth of debt off of his credit in 30 days. Everything was deleted, and that's
Mm,
when I was like, "Oh, you want something?"
mm. Y'all hear this, people? Do y'all hear this?
Yeah.
Mm,
2011. I mean, and on and off throughout the years, like people would ask me things about credit. I studied it because for a while, for 10 years, I was actually in debt. I had
okay.
lost my job many years ago.
Mm,
I had good credit before. So
yeah.
for 10 years, I had been trying to struggle to get myself out of the hole. So I was researching, I was educating myself. So it was until like 2013 that I decided to clean my credit up because
Okay.
I wanted to put me and my baby in a house. In 2014, I was able to do that, buy a home. Even
Mm,
though at the time when I bought my home, actually I went through a program called NACA. I had a 530 credit score 9 years ago when I bought my home. You
okay.
know what I'm saying? But guess what? I had paid off all my debt. I didn't have any type of debt at all.
Okay.
So where I started then, now at an 800 credit score, that's why I tell people like with hard work, sacrifice, and dedication, you can bring that score up.
Now hold on. Now, people, now listen to what she said. I'm gonna have her repeat that and look in the camera and say that, okay? Go ahead and say that one more time for the people right there in that camera.
Hard work, dedication, you can bring that score up. 9 years ago, I bought a home with a 530. Now we in the 800 club, and we just smooth selling right now. And now, a person who had bad credit, now I have rebuilt my credit. Now I'm educating and helping others rebuild their credit or even establish credit.
Okay, that's what's up. So do you still okay, so with all that being said,
Yeah,
do you feel that this is your calling?
I do. Everything I do, every business that I have is somewhere centered around helping people.
Okay.
Um, Helping people, you have to have compassion,
Mm,
and I always tell people, anybody who know me, who never dealt business with me, even down to my mentorship, I always tell people, don't base everything you do about money. Because remember, I
mm,
was doing credit repair and a lot of other things for free for a very long time. I just started recently, when I went through the divorce and needed another stream of income, started charging for my services. But guess what? People got Jennifer Williams services for years for free.
definitely.
So the thing about it is I did the groundwork.
Mm,
I show people what I could do. So it's like you have to build up that credibility with people. You just can't say, hey, one day, oh, I do credit repair. Come do it. Where's your results?
mm,
I have proven results. It's a lot of people can tell you that I done helped them get a home, cars, businesses, things like that because I've shown my results. You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
Yeah.
I feel you. Okay, okay. So as I'm looking at the notes here, so as we go down the line through this whole thing, you know, like I said, people they work in different areas and they do different things.
Mhm.
Now, what other things have you done or have you established to help people? Because I know you got a list of things.
I
I know
do.
you got a number of businesses and some
I
things that you have
do.
going on. See, we jumping the gun here, people, but we jumping the gun here for a reason. And there's a reason why we're doing this. But let's go ahead. Tell them what else do you have
Okay,
here
so
that helps
after
people.
the tax bridge was incorporated, then
Hmm.
I love doing events. And
Yeah.
anybody who knows me know I like putting things together. I'm
Yes.
very well organized. I actually did your
Now
wedding.
look here, people. Now look here, people. She did my wedding, and she did my wedding right.
Uh-huh.
Okay. But one day, I ain't gonna throw no pictures on her because it's her show. I ain't gonna throw no pictures up there. But she did it right. I'm trying to let y'all know. Okay, so y'all pay attention to this. But go ahead.
So that's another thing that I love doing. I love doing events because when I kind of introduced myself to the business, well,
Hmm.
the first thing I did was a networking event. The networking event had 57 different businesses a part of it.
Hmm.
Everybody thought I was crazy because I charged $20 for that event.
Hmm.
Look, let me tell you something. It wasn't about the money for me. It was establishing networking with people, seeing how people can help me and how I can help them as well. I wanted to say, hey, my name is Jennifer. Jennifer
Mm-hmm.
Williams, I do business. What do you do? How can we help each other?
Mm.
So that was me
Okay.
introducing myself to the world and doing the events, and that was 2019 when I did my very first event, and
Okay.
I was shocked at how big that event and how well it took off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that was the
You
second
said
big.
that was your networking event.
That was my networking
And
event.
what's the name of that business that went
I'm
through so the
sorry.
people know?
Platinum Concierge JW. I do all kind of events. I have done birthday parties. I have done weddings. I have done business events.
Mm-hmm.
So I love actually doing the weddings the most. I do that, and
Okay.
I do love doing the networking event because you get to meet
Mm-hmm.
a lot of different entrepreneurs, people starting out. You'll be
Okay.
able to give them advice on
Yeah.
things and vice versa. So I love to do these different things, and I told you like pretty much everything I'm doing is helping somebody. And then
Exactly.
in the middle
That's true.
of the
That's true.
pandemic, 2020, I gave birth to my nonprofit organization, Dana Nicole Girls.
Whoa, whoa,
Yes, which
whoa,
Life
whoa.
Coach Jeff is a part of.
Yes. Thank you.
So we've been going strong now. Actually, this is our third year.
Mm-hmm.
So we actually have ages 9 through 17 of girls that we mentor. I love the kids that we work with. We have a lot of different personalities, as you
Yes, we
know.
do. Yes, we do.
But the thing about it is where I vibe so well and can relate with the girls because the things that they are enduring now, I have endured at their age. So this is why we have such a tight knit bond
Mm-hmm.
with the girls. They can come talk to us about any and everything. So that's like my baby right there because
Okay.
those is my baby. You know,
Okay.
I have one child. He's a
Mm-hmm.
boy. He's 21 years old. Well, about to be 21. I'm sorry. And I have a bunch of girls. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So
Exactly.
it's like so I really really love doing that because
Mm-hmm.
I'm able to help assist with cultivating some young girls over into adulthood and helping them out with everyday life. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because as
Yeah.
you know, they come to us about any and everything.
Yeah.
So we have established that bond and trust with
Definitely.
those girls. So again, that's another business where helping someone.
So with that being said,
Mhm.
excuse me, I'm throat. So I want to ask you this question: what skills do you believe that you have? What have you gone through that makes you a little bit more credible than the next person to help these young girls, or to help any young girl, for that matter?
Life,
Mm-hmm.
everything, things that I've endured in life, compassion,
Mm-hmm.
sympathy, empathy,
Mm-hmm.
um, love, a need for one to help, one to assist. You know, some of
Mm-hmm.
my girls don't want to call me sometimes because they always say, Miss Jennifer, I know you're busy, but I always tell my girls like, hey, you can call me anytime. Even if
Exactly.
we got to sit and talk for 2 or 3 hours to get you right back on track, I'm gonna do it with them. So I let my girls know that I'm really here for them, and I'm not doing anything for money. I
Mm-hmm.
let my girls know, which we talk about it all the time. We're not getting paid. We donate our time
Mm-hmm.
every week for the past 3 years,
Mm-hmm.
every Saturday for 3 hours. We're not getting paid, but
Mm-hmm.
we do this for the love and the need to be able to help. So I just think for me, it's just life, the things I went through, the things I endured. I wish that I had somebody at that age that I can look up to them and talk to someone. Um, like how they don't want to talk to their parents about any and everything.
Exactly.
So it's like I understand them. So it's like, man, I wish what I'm giving to them, I
Mm-hmm.
had this as a young girl. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like somebody who I could just talk to, somebody who's not
Yeah.
just. I just want somebody. They just want somebody to listen to them.
Definitely.
Just
I understand.
simple. That's it. So it's just love.
Love.
The
Okay.
love.
Yeah. Definitely.
Simple.
Okay. I get that.
Hmm.
So Zeta the Cold Girl, the name. Where did that come from?
So the name came from because my grandmother's name is Marzetta.
Mm-hmm.
So I took the end of her name, Zetta, Nicole. Most of the women in my family, a lot of the women middle name is Nicole, which is myself. So I put it all
Okay.
together, the Zetta Nicole girl. And I wanted to do a mentorship program. It's because it was the things that my grandmother taught.
Mm-hmm.
I always remember her just pouring into me. So it's just like, I always said I wanted to do a nonprofit organization. I said something with girls. I
Mm-hmm.
never knew what it was. And I always tell people this story. It was remember I saw a video on Facebook and these girls was 14 years old dancing on some 24-year-old men and
Mm.
their mothers was videoing it and cheering them on.
Mm.
And it just like popped in my mind. Mentorship. It's time for us to get our little girls back, take them,
Facts. Yeah, I
show them
understand.
some real role models that you don't always, I'm sorry, you don't have to be bent over on your knees
Let them know. Look in that car again. Let
to
them know,
be
girl.
accepted. You know, I tell
Yes.
my girls this all the time, and they know that. And I'm like, use your brain. I
Mm.
have no degrees in nothing that I do, not one
Mm-hmm.
degree. But guess what? I didn't get here by being on my knees with my legs open. Sorry for being so canny, but I'm just going to be
Yeah.
raw. I'm
Yeah.
just telling like your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Your mind is going to get you to the top, not trying to utilize
Mm-hmm.
certain parts of your body or
Mm-hmm.
your body period to get you there.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's a great. Hey, listen here, people. That's a great concept, and I wish, I kind of wish that more people would follow that mantra when it comes to just building programs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Building something that really means something for people. A lot of people that now don't get me wrong, there are some people who give back. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And that's what they want to do. But y'all got to really truly believe in what she's doing. This is a great program. I'm serious, and I'm not saying that because I'm a part of it. But when you actually get to see the minds, not like tap into, but when you see the minds of these young women and all the things that they're capable of,
Yeah.
you know, we do some great things. But oh, since you brought up life, now we got to bring this up too, girl. Listen,
Uh-huh.
now listen, now look, I'm gonna come. Now look, I'm gonna come here. Watch this.
Mhm.
Now listen, y'all. She has been a part of two books. Now,
Mhm.
see, I didn't want to mention. I want to get her accolades out the way first because y'all deserve to hear everything that she has done and is a part of. But this is not an exception to the rule. So she has been a part of two books, and I would really want you to dive deep into those two books in because
Here you go. Here you go.
I say this now. Listen, I say this because the people need to know about that life experience that you had that ties into everything that you have going on.
Oh, you're going deep.
You feel me?
You want me
Because
to go
I'm
deep?
telling you because y'all need to understand this. Y'all need to understand this. She gave y'all a brief synopsis
Yeah.
of what was going on.
Yeah.
But what she wrote in these, girl, I'm gonna just have you tell it. I can't tell it like you can. Go ahead.
Well, when I wrote the book, the crazy part is it was at the time I was going through so much pain. Um, I had just went through that awful divorce. I was hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And I was trying to channel my pain any way I could.
Mm-hmm.
You know, telling me like, hey, you're gonna be drinking a lot. You're gonna have sex with a lot of different men.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you something. I wasn't even sexually active for 3 years, and I've been divorced now. What, gonna be 4?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? For 3 years, I didn't even talk to no man. I
Okay.
couldn't stomach looking at a man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because I had to get me together because I didn't want to hurt somebody else who didn't deserve to be hurt. So I had to work with Jennifer. And
Exactly. There
this
you
is
go.
why I laugh to this day
Mm-hmm.
when I be like, when I look myself in the mirror, like, who are you? Because, you know, I didn't want drugs, didn't want alcohol, I didn't want sex. You
Exactly.
know, I channeled into writing. I
Mm-hmm.
went to church. Um, I remember going to church at times. I ran to the church. You know, like some people just going up. No, I ran up in there
I feel you.
because I needed to know why. You know, in my mind, and I hate that I felt this way at that time because I didn't know no better then. I was mad at God. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And I hate that I say that
Now,
at that
why
time
were you mad at
because I
God though?
thought God did it. But now I understand God didn't do it to me. He did it for me. He removed this person out of my life because
Mm-hmm.
that season was over.
Okay.
He had some heavy artillery things that he had to do for me and in me. And
Mm-hmm.
that person wasn't tied to where God was taking me. And I
Yeah.
understand that now. And I feel stupid because I didn't know God like I know God now. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Like honestly, I didn't know God fully until I was 38 years old.
Okay. So
Um,
what do you mean by that? What do you mean know God fully
fully.
until
Let
you
me
were
tell you,
38?
because I know God would never hurt you.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? In my mind, I was thinking like I was being punished
Mm-hmm.
because I was so in love. Like, couldn't nobody tell me about that person.
Mm-hmm.
I worshiped the ground he walked on. I had him on the pedestal.
Okay.
Right now, I'll kick the pedestal over. Just playing, but not playing.
It's your line. It's your line. It's your line. Okay, I'm gonna digress.
So I digress.
So,
I'm joking. It's joke. But I was like, I didn't know God because the crazy part is I've been in church, raised in church my whole life.
okay.
So you know how people go to church but they not listening?
Exactly.
And I wasn't listening. But it was like they say, God is not gonna force you to come to him. It's gonna be some things that's gonna be created in your life and circumstances where you run to him.
Exactly.
And when I tell you I ran to him, I wept.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would be in church crying, falling out.
Yeah.
It's because I'm trying to understand what's going on. Because when I tell you 2018, my life was turned upside down. All hell broke loose. You talking about divorce.
Yeah.
Talking about your finances being depleted. Pretty much damn near broke. Me and my son, I had to put my son out my house. You know what I'm saying? He was going crazy, acting crazy. Okay. When I tell you, I felt like my life was literally on life support. I couldn't breathe. It's like a machine was breathing for me. It's like I wasn't really present mentally.
Yeah.
When I used to work at the bank, people said they are coming to almost like looking at a zombie. And people said that they didn't see no light in my eyes. Like I'm normally a perky person and stuff like that. I couldn't smile. I'm gonna tell you, like for 6 months straight, I cried every single day for 6 months straight, and I would beg God not to wake me up. True story. True story.
So what? So you saying that you literally felt like you wanted to die?
Yeah, I did. I asked God not to wake me up. I swear to God.
Wow.
Yeah. I even called a friend one day, and it was raining really, really bad. And I told her where my life insurance policy was at. And I just said, I can't do this no more. I was crying. I was speeding down Broadway. I would never forget it. It was raining really, really bad. I told her, I'm done. I felt at that point in my life, I was lifeless.
Wow.
I couldn't breathe. I couldn't think because I was just like, what's going on? Have you ever, like, some people understand your whole life just being turned upside down and you don't know why?
Yeah.
And everything is all happening at one time. I would have headaches. I don't know if you ever felt like you woke up every single day you were in pain. I would be at work. I was working at the bank. My boss knew what was going on. She told me sometimes you got to step away, step away. I would be in the bathroom for an hour crying, sitting on the toilet. I wasn't using the toilet, just sitting there with the door locked crying. I was a mess.
Definitely.
And I needed an outlet to channel that pain. So I just remember hearing somebody say, start writing. Bring your thoughts down. I start telling the girls that too. Like when I'm having one-on-one with the girls, I tell them what works for me. It was very therapeutic. I remember at times when I'm writing and typing that I was crying profusely. And I have to stop because it was hurting too bad. You know what I'm saying? Like people would send me stuff with him and the woman that he, messed with.
So people were sending you
stuff.
stuff.
They were sending me stuff. That's how I found out he was with another woman. Somebody actually was walking behind him at an event and snapped 2 pictures and sent it to my Instagram inbox. That's how I found out he was dealing with another woman.
That's wild.
And every time I felt like I was getting better, somebody would send me something. And I see it. It's almost like it'll knock me back to square one.
Now, why were these people doing this? Why were they sending you stuff from the past? You left that behind.
Yeah.
And it's like, why would they keep sending you something like that if you left that behind? Why do you feel that?
Because people was disappointed. They was mad for me, and they was like, look at this so-and-so. Like, he just acting like he ain't did nothing. So I just think like a lot of people was upset for me.
Okay.
And then like some people might have been happy. Like some people celebrate, and I never understood how others can celebrate somebody else's pain. that's just the world that we live in now.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was writing, I didn't know
Yeah.
I wrote so much. You know, I remember both of the books that I was a part of.
Yeah.
They both told me, Jen, you had the longest chapter.
Mm.
They had to chop my stuff down. You know, Matt,
Yeah.
our business partner, told me, he's like,
Yeah.
you need to write your own book. You needed to have your own book.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been asked to be in other books after that, but I feel like, honestly, I'm in a better space in my life.
Mm.
I don't want to talk about that no more.
That's
You
great.
know, that was my road to
Mm-hmm.
healing.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna ask you.
Yeah.
So do you feel that you were successful in your healing? Do you feel like you reached a place of healing because of all the stuff that you went? Because a lot of people, real talk, a lot of people will mess around and carry around resentment,
Yeah.
anger, hate towards a person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or strong dislike, however y'all want to call it.
Yeah.
But it's not a good thing. So do you feel that you've been truly delivered and removed from that space that you were in before?
I really do, because I took the time and I did the work. I went through every emotion there was to
Okay.
healing. That's why I said I didn't want to be with nobody else. I needed to get to Jennifer. Like
Yeah.
now, I love Jennifer in a way that I never loved Jennifer ever before. I know Jennifer because at first I didn't know who Jennifer was.
Yeah.
Jennifer was seeking love in all the wrong places.
Mm-hmm.
When you have to know, you have to love this inside of you. You have to love yourself first before you can even allow somebody else in your space to love you.
Mm.
So I did the work. It's to the point like that person thinks that I'm still mad at him, but I'm not. I actually forgive him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I thank him for what he did, because it shook something up in me. It created a monster.
I feel you.
You know.
Watch your hand with the mic.
I'm
just letting you know.
Yes, okay. I'm sorry. It created a monster, a beast. It made me say, I would never let nobody put me in that position ever again. Jennifer knows who she is. She knows what she deserves. Jennifer is more focused, ambitious. Honestly, like of doing things. Now I was put in a place where, hey, think of you gonna swim.
Yeah.
And I said, I ain't finna
I feel
sink. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So this is why I just started creating, and I just got so focused to building what I'm building now. You know what I'm saying? Creating generational wealth.
Now, there you have it, people. Miss Jennifer Williams has graced us. She has told you about her businesses. She has told you about her setbacks, her triumphs from that. And if we really be honest with each other, real talk, we can learn a lot from just everything that you go through in life. I really hope that you all got from this interview today that you can do anything that you want to do, regardless of how far you've been knocked down or how you just may be feeling in everyday life. This woman said that she was going to end it all. And you know, hold on real quick. Okay. Because I wanted to ask you this question.
Yeah.
What pulled you out of that? What literally stopped you from ending your life that day? And this is the last question because we're going to end on this high note.
You know what stopped me? I'm going to give her flowers. It was Jackie C. She talked me off the ledge. And by the time we got off that phone, she had me laughing instead of crying. I actually give her props. She was the one that I talked to. And I still to this day, like, what made me call her? But she knew exactly what to say and how to say it. And she just spoke to my soul that day. And I forever going to be grateful to her.
Okay, now we can end this because I gotta let people know that you are looking at a person right here who thought about ending their whole life, but then now is on the course and doing and taking those steps to create generational wealth for her and her family. Ms. Jennifer Williams, I thank you for being here with us on the podcast. I thank you for gracing the airwaves with us. And remember, redirect, regroup, refocus. And I love y'all. Peace out. Thank you for listening and tuning in to the Redirect, Regroup, Refocus podcast. We do thank you and appreciate and value you as a listener. Now, I would like to just throw in, please follow us on social media. You can follow us on Instagram as Redirect, Regroup, Refocus, and also Life Coach Jeff Relaford. You can also find me on Facebook as Jeff Relaford. That's my personal page. Go ahead, give me a follow there. I always put up some good inspirational content. And also the business page, Redirect, Regroup, Refocus on Facebook as well. So, all right, you all, thank you for tuning in. And next week, we will be here again. Remember, Redirect, Regroup, Refocus. I love y'all. Peace out.